Now I better check and make sure that this little part is not going to fall through the cracks here in my parts basket. And clearly it won't go all the way through. Yeah. This is just ordinary dish soap. I'm just going to put a tiny little drop in there, just enough to cut any grease that may be involved. There shouldn't be a whole lot of grease on that, but maybe just plain water might not cut the grease that's on there, and that's the whole idea. Right now my kettle is boiling in the kitchen. Okay, I've got it set for 180 seconds, that's 3 minutes. That might be too much. The next step down is 90. That's not enough maybe, so I would think that I would never give something like this more than 3 minutes anyway. So we'll give it the 3 minutes, and once again, as what happened the last time, the high frequency is going to set the microphones for a loop on the camera. So yeah, there's nothing to see anyway. It's just going to bounce around in there. You're not going to be able to see the little bubbles cavitating on the part or anything like that. You just have to accept the word of the scientist that that's what happens.
Now here is another case of where you might say, my tongue is in drive while my brain is still sort of in park. Yeah, I meant to say imploding on the little part, not cavitating. I do know the difference.
I just thought of something. I wonder if boiling water is going to, affect the CA glue. 212 degrees, will it stand up to that? Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Okay, I'm just going to put in the minimum amount needed here. And there we are. That's up to the minimum line. Okay, here we go.
I think I mentioned this before. This ultrasonic cleaner is not that loud, but the camera sure thinks it's loud.
Well, you're going to have to take my word for it. The 3 minutes has passed, and it appears that the little cross piece is still on there. In fact, I'm going to try and pick it up by it. See what happens here. Oh, there we go. It stayed together. We'll let it dry off now, and we'll take a nice close look at those joints. I was just wondering, should I maybe be rinsing that off in clean water? Because there will be a little bit of soap residue on there. Maybe I will. Well, this is the view through my normal macro lens. We'll put on the other one and we can get in 5 times closer, and we'll see if we notice any deterioration in these little joints right here. We are not quite 5 times, probably 4.5. If I go 5 times, I can't get all 4 corners in at the same time. It appears that the upper left-hand one disintegrated. There does seem to be a little bit of disintegration on the joints, the glue joints. Let's check the corner, the box corner. We can't really tell at this angle. That'll be the extreme right-hand corner there, and see, to see what it looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my floodlight around, and it should show the reflection of the CA glue, and it appears to me that it's all still there. However, when I was handling it, I thought, I wonder how strong it is. And it broke apart way too easy. So I don't know if it was the boiling water or if it was the ultrasonic that broke the CA down, but it was not strong. And I noticed that when I pulled that very small little spidery part off, it came off extremely easy as well. It was strong enough that I could pick the whole thing up by it, but it was not what you would call strong. Now the only thing left on this sheet here, and this is sheet B, is this piece here. And it's just another one of these right here. And we're not going to be using those. So in other words, we're ending up with a lot of brass photo etch that we can, do this experiment properly. Not today, but possibly someday. And the way I want to redo this is, I want to redo it and have side-by-side comparisons. In other words, what I want to do is room temperature water, no soap, room temperature water with soap, boiling water, no soap, boiling water with soap, and have side-by-side comparisons. What we just did here is not all that good. I admit it. It's not controlled. It's not really what you would call a decisive experiment. Yeah, but in the meantime, let's leave this alone for a while and see if we can't get some of these little parts, excuse me, these little parts painted dark gray, get our building here painted light gray, get some pieces stuck on. Otherwise, we're never going to get this ship done. Now, I was just about ready to start putting a bunch of masking tape onto my painting disc here and sticking the little parts down so I could spray them. And then I thought, okay, once I do that, how am I going to know which is which? There is subtle differences, like between 62, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are subtle differences. I might be able to figure it out later, but I mean, I've gone to all the effort to keep them all separate here. I gotta keep them separate when I put them on here as well. So I was thinking, well, I'll just write the number on the tape, beside it. I guess I'll just have to be careful not to spray over it. Anyway. Okay, I'm all ready to go here, I thought. I'll take number 61 and I'll lay it on here, and then I'll write, 61. Problem is, if I lay it down, how am I going to be painting both sides? So this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to use that double-sided tape that is really, really sticky. And then the part on the bottom here that is going to be going into this slot that's going to be out of sight, stick that down. I'm sort of thinking out loud here again. I think you get the idea. Now, ones like this, they're kind of the wrong shape. In other words, I can't really get enough surface area stuck down because this little part is sticking out. It'll stay there, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna blow over. So I'm gonna have to think of something else for these guys. Okay, now this surface area here is quite large. I don't think that the airbrush is going to blow that over. Now, some of these pieces are so small, it'd be easy to accidentally mount them upside down. I realize we're on step 42. However, back in step 41 we did the boats, but we never painted them. And I do remember that there was a lot of like wood color for the decking and so on of the boats, but I honestly can't remember what color the hulls were. So I don't know if we can be doing any painting dark gray right now or not. So I'm going to just check Stefan's book and we'll just see what they were. I know there were some pretty good illustrations in there. Well, I was right about the top part. It's basically a wood color, so that should be fairly easy. But as for the hull itself, well, it was two-tone. It was the lower half was dark, some kind of dark, and the upper part is sort of a very light gray is what it appears to me. Yeah, kind of two-tone, sort of like my dad's old 56 Pontiac. At least it was two-tone when he first got it. Then he was being brainwashed into thinking that a godly person does not have a two-tone car, so he had the all changed to one tone, and not the nice one either. Anyway, yeah. So let's see what we can do here. Now I don't know, when I look at this picture here, this doesn't look like gray, it looks like almost a white. I would have thought they would not have wanted anything that would reflect. However, I guess the idea is if you're close enough that you can see the lifeboat, you're also going to see the entire ship, as far as being stealthy goes. Yeah, there's about 6 or 8 pages of these boats, and here's another shot that clearly shows that the side was sort of a white. And this canvas over top, that would have been white, at least it was in the drawing. Now, it was quite a while ago that we put this together, and I can't quite remember why it was we didn't paint it. It may have been because we didn't know whether to do light gray or dark gray. I have a faint recollection of later finding it in the book, and it looked like it may have been dark gray, but then we thought, well, perhaps that was from the camouflage, the way it went across. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do a dark gray with the rest of this stuff. When I started this project several months ago now, I made the mistake of mixing my own grays. In other words, I took white and I took black, mixed them together to what I thought was, just right. Consequently, whenever I want a dark gray, like right now I've got maybe a milliliter left in there, and that's about it. So I've got to mix up more. And it would have been a lot better if I had have just selected a gray that Tamiya already had. They've probably got like 10 different grays. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. Maybe I should switch right now and try and figure out, go to the model store and take this along and see if I can sort of match it up. Anyway, I was going to start painting, and once I realized I didn't have enough gray here, and I've only got one glove. I must have ripped the other one last time I painted, because I do have 2 hands. Anyway, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow and we'll do a little spraying. All being well.